Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to solve question number 7.2. Here you can see we are related with cost of production report CPR and question number is 7.12. As you have already in your mind that previously we have solved several questions related to CPR and I think 6 to 7 questions are already been solved. It might be a surprise for you that we have jumped to 7.12 question. Basically from 7.7 to 7.11 all questions are just similar. There is no change. It would not be difficult for you to solve these questions, but surely we are going to solve each and every question in our lectures, maybe here or maybe in classroom. So question number 12 is about cost of production report, and the very first thing which you will notice here is we are having normal loss. And secondly, we have this normal loss in our second department. This is the most important aspect of this question. You are looking at normal loss, and secondly, the loss in your second department. You have seen already that in our performa there are two very important factors. Let's see the performa so that you can remind everything again. Here you have your performa. It has two pages. On left pages you have two parts, on right pages you have three parts. In left page you will be making quantity schedule first. This is your quantity schedule and it's the first part you are going to solve. Secondly, you can see that it's cost charged to the department, where you will put different costs of material, labor, and FH. And from right side you have three department costs to be accounted for, equivalent schedule you have, and then you are going to calculate your per unit cost. So these are three departments on the right page, two departments on the left page, and what I was saying, these are the two factors which are very important. Keep it in mind. If you are working in department A, here it is mentioned that uh, it's department A, and perhaps we have written this department for any of the previous questions. We haven't solved any question of normal loss in department B, so we will erase it as well. But if it is department A, kindly let me know what is the department previous of department A. डिपार्टमेंट ए से पिछला डिपार्टमेंट कौन सा होगा. So everybody knows there is no department before department A. It means first department will not be able to get any units from previous department. First department will not be able to get any units from previous department. So it means small r is what? Your per unit cost received from previous department. Here you can see it's per unit, and here it has been written cost received from previous department. If it is department A, small r means per unit cost received from previous department, and since there is no previous department to department A, so small r will not be written over here if it is department A. And obviously if small r is not present, then capital R will also be not present in the question if the question is related to department A. Now we are going to edit it. What we are going to do, we are related with department B. It means in department B, both cost received from previous department capital R and per unit cost received from previous department small r, both costs will be present in this question. And here you have your normal loss formula. It is also very important to notice that if you are calculating normal loss, you need few factors, and among them you need to have small r. Here you can see that in formula we have small r. For department B, small r, as we have decided that if it is department B, we would have small r, mean per unit cost received from previous department, and this same small r will be used to calculate the normal loss. In this question we have both. We have department B as well, and we have normal loss as well. So hopefully first time we are going to calculate normal loss, as well. That is why I'm saying it is very important for you, uh, as per your examination point of view and as per your course preview. This is very important. We are going to change our scenario for the solution of the question. Now let's go to the upper part of the this view. We have 7.12, and there are two main things you can see over here: normal loss in second department. This is the important thing, normal loss in second department, and we have decided in second department normal loss can be calculated. So hopefully you have understood the main target of this question is to calculate normal loss. And what we are going to do, we are using this formula of normal loss. Remaining everything is same, remaining every calculation is same, remaining every heading is same. So you are no need to bother about it. All related methods of these questions are similar. So we are going to solve this question in a normal way, except for this. What we are going to do over here, we are going to calculate our normal loss in this question. I have repeated this factor for more than one time. I mean 3 to 4 times I have said that in this question the only different matter is about calculation of normal loss. So be ready for the question. So let's go to the question, and now we are going to start reading. Normal loss in second department during the month of December. B department. Problem solved. So we are here, you can see we have already edited. Now we are doing in department B. Our Rauf industry receives 30,000 units. When it is department B, you can see over here we have written three different words: started, received, and transferred. Started, received, and transferred. If it is A department, that department will start its production. But if it is B department, it would receive, or it would get goods or units transferred in from previous department. So we are doing department B. It means we will be receiving units. That is why you can see over here we have received units of 30,000. So put over here 30,000 are the units which we have received. We are on left side of the page. Quantity schedule we are going to complete first. 30,000 we have written. So these 32,000 units were received from department A. Total cost 76,500. Now let me know, you are receiving. Here you can see these are the units you have received, and this is what 76,500 cost received from where? From A. So what finally you will decide for this 76,500? This is total cost, and total cost is received from A. A is previous department. So finally we come to know that 76,500 is the cost which we are receiving from previous department, and that is R. How much amount it is? 76,500. So you are putting 76,500 over here. So you may look at it again. 30,000 units were received from department A. It is previous department, and you are receiving cost from previous department 76. It is total cost. So capital R we have posted. Total cost received from previous department 76,500. And transfer to C. It means C is the next department, and you are transferring units. Here you can see 25,000 units are being transferred. Obviously, how one department will transfer units to the next department? When these units are completed, only at that time of frame you can transfer. Here in quantity schedule you can see units completed and transfer out. We have found out. So write down 25,000 units in completed. Let's see what is next. 4,500 units are lost during the process. This is very important thing. Please note it down. 4,500 units are lost. So what we will do here, we have lost, and we have two losses, normal and abnormal. So it would be decided how we will be fixing it, whether it is normal or abnormal. Please note down these words: during processing. I have told you if any loss is occurring during the process, that would be normal loss. Abnormal loss, the loss which had happened due to some human error, some human mistake, but it's not to be considered as human mistake. When loss is happened during the process, it would be considered normal loss. So write down 4500 in front of normal loss. Now let's see what is next. Remaining units are 75% complete. That means it is still incomplete. 50% converted. Converted are two main factors. Converted means labor and effort. So what is being said to us? Remaining units are still incomplete. So they would be called in process, and here you can see we have units still in process. How you would calculate unit still in process? They are saying the remaining units. So let me have your answer. How would you calculate remaining answer? Total units were 30,000 and units you have completed are 25,000. 45,000 are unit loss. So how many units are remaining? For which what you will do, total units 30,000 they were, out of which you have completed 25,000. Subtract it. 25,000 units are completed and 4,500 units are lost. Please note it down. 30,000 units but total units, out of which 25 units are completed. 4,500 units are lost. Remaining units 500, and it would be considered still in process. Hopefully you have understood. Now let's see if debit and credit side or left and right side are equalized. Yes, you can see left side 30,000, right side 30,000. Both sides are equalized. What does that mean? Our quantity schedule is completed, so we don't need to have any botheration about our quantity schedule. It is 100% completed, as we have described what that 30,000 is present on debit side and 30,000 is present on credit side. These are what these are. Remaining units are 75% complete. What these elements are: 75% complete as of material, 50% converted. These are percentage completions. All right, we will use it. Now let's see what is next for us. Cost incurred in department BR material 54810. This is cost of material. So you will go left page, lower part, and here you can see all three elements are described. So material cost was discussed and how much it is. You can see over here 54,810. Go downward and write down 54,810 is cost of material. Now let's see what is next cost. Here you can see labor cost 42,925. So come down and write down 42,925. 42,925. 42,925 is the cost of labor. Let's see if anything else is given over here. Yes, overhead 32,32,0. Put cost over here 32,32,0. So in this way, what you have done, you have completed cost added by the department, and that cost was related to material, labor, FH, and you have done nothing. It was given in your book. Here there were three costs: 54,810, 42,925 and 32,320, and same cost you have posted over here. Alright, so now there is a question. You have quantity schedule which is absolutely completed, but here in cost chart to the department small r is not present. How would you calculate small r? What is small r? It is called per unit cost, and you already know that per unit cost related to any factor. If you are having cost accounting, if you are having management accounting, if you have financial accounting, if it is first semester, if it is last semester, this formula will always be same. What you will do for per unit cost, as we have seen in LIFO FIFO as well, you will divide cost. First you will write cost and you will divide it by units. You will get per unit cost. Okay, now we are going to calculate this per unit cost small r. What it is called? Per unit cost received it is. And how you would calculate cost of what? Cost received. With every factor you will write received. So cost received would be divided by units. Units of what? Unit which you have received. This would be our formula. As you have seen that we are using the same formula which is common for every other factor as well. Per unit cost received is equal to cost received divided by unit received. Now let's write the abbreviation. Per unit cost received is called small r, and then cost received, total cost received would be considered capital R, and you are going to divide it with units received. So this way you can calculate small r. And now here you have small r which is empty and still to be calculated. What we do know, capital R is 76,500. We have already replaced. This is cost received from previous department. All right. So what you will do, you will write 76,500 and you are going to divide it with what? Units received. And for unit received, here come. On quantity schedule, you can see we have already written unit received and these are 30,000. So put 30,000 over here. This is your mathematical statement, and now what you will write on your calculator. First you will write 76,500 and you will divide it with 30,000, and here you have calculated your small r, and we are making it little highlighted and align it on the left side so that you can relate it with. Okay, so we have calculated what small r has been calculated here. And how did you calculate it? You have divided total cost by unit received. 2.55 is small r, and same amount you are going to put over here as we have calculated our small r. How much amount you have calculated? That is 2.55. Put over here. You can have decimals over here. That is a good method. Excuse me, please. You have 2.55 over here, and with the help of this we can complete our remaining part of the question. But keep it in mind, as many decimals you will put over here, more accurate answer you will get. More decimals mean more accurate questions. Now next part is your normal loss. As we have already discussed that for normal loss, please read this formula. Normal loss units multiplied by small r. We were in need to have small r, and here you have got the per unit cost received from previous department. Our problem has been sorted out. Okay, so what would be the next step? We will put formulas statement over here. The very first thing is you need normal loss unit. Come over here. You have already mentioned 4,500 units are your normal loss. Put first. All right, and then you are in need to multiply. Put sign of multiply with which small r, and here you have calculated small r, which is what? 2.55 is your small r, and then you are going to close your bracket. We have closed, and then divided. You have put divided, and with which factor you will divide? Good units. Come downside, and here we have already written the formula for the good units. How you would calculate good units? You will receive total units and the units which are lost. If you will subtract unit loss from the total unit, remaining all of the units are good units. And the formula is already written over here. Total units you have received, look at this, 30,000 units you had received. And what next you will do? You will subtract. Sign you can check here. It is subtract, mark subtraction. And what you will subtract? Lost unit. Normal loss units we have in our question 4,500. So put 4,500 over here to get the good units. Now write it on calculator. 30,000 units subtract 4,500. So this way 4,500. So this way you have calculated your good units. Now you can see 25,500 are your good units. Let's align them on the left side so that you can relate it. Okay, come to the point. We have calculated good units and now it's time to put same number of units in our formula of normal loss. We were completing it. Please read it again. Normal loss units 4500 multiply. You have written multiply by small r. This was your small r 2.55. You have already put, and you are now in need to divide with the good units. Here you have calculated good units. You can see over here 25,500. You are just needed to put 25,500 over here. So this is your mathematical statement completed and you are going to get your answer over here. What you will write on your calculator, very first thing is normal loss units 4500, put bracket as well, 4500 units multiply, put sign of multiply. I have to see because I'm using another system, so I will have to see with, okay, I have seen multiply 4500 units multiply, and then with which you are going to multiply 2.55. 2.55 is per unit cost received from previous department, close the bracket, and now you are going to divide it with what? 25,500. 25,500. So this way you have calculated your normal loss. It is called adjustment of normal loss. Normal loss was mentioned in the question, and now an important thing. Adjustment for loss unit 0.45. Here you have got your answer. Adjustment for loss unit 0.45, and what you have calculated is 0.45. It means our partially we have completed left side department cost charged, and as you know, and the very important thing is we have calculated the normal loss. This is perhaps the first time we are calculating. I'm requesting you to pray to give whole of your mind, whole of your attention over here. Put your attention over here because it is an important topic for your upcoming quizzes, upcoming tests, upcoming final papers as well. You have calculated your normal loss. Now you will say we don't have small m over here, we don't have small l over here, we don't have small f over here, and it is needed to calculate. Small MLF means per unit cost of material, per unit cost of labor, per unit cost of FH, and here you can see per unit cost of material, labor, FH. Everything is empty yet, and we are in need to calculate all of these costs, for which right page and lower two departments. So these are two departments which are coherent with each other. Without completing these parts of your solution, you will not be able to calculate per unit cost of material, labor, FH. So finally we will go to this part and we will start our calculation. Here you have three red lines with which you will be able to complete your equivalent schedule procedure. Equivalent means number of units totally completed. Number of units totally completed. So give your attention over here. What you are going to do, the very first thing which you will write is 100% completed units. The very first thing you will write, I'm going to show you your quantity schedule as well. So the first thing is 100% completed units. Come over here, 25,000 units, you can see it is completed units. So you are going to write here 25,000 units, and then what is next? Here you will add, put plus over here, then you will start your bracket. Please keep attention upon this red line. Next you need is your work in process. Come in quantity schedule, here is your work in process, that is 500. Put 500 over here, and next you are going to multiply it. Alright, so you will multiply with what? Percentage completion. We are doing equivalent of material. We need to get percentage completion of material. For that purpose we will go to our question, and here what we were discussing. Remaining units are 75% complete as to material. Here you can see 75% as of material. 75% is percentage completion for the material, and you are going to write this. 75% means 75 divided by 100, which means 0.75. When you will write it on calculator, you will come to know that 0.75, how we had calculated 75 divided by 100. Now please look at it again. Completed unit 25,000 plus sign bracket open, work in process was 500, multiply with percentage completion. Percentage completion was given in the book. In this way you can calculate. You can take the screenshot over here as well, because when I will enter, these three amounts will be vanished and only answer would appear over here. So finally we have got equivalent units of material. In same way you are going to calculate your equivalent of labor as well, for which what you need, again 100% completed units. Come to the left side, quantity schedule. Here are 100% completed units, 25,000. Put 25,000 over here. Then next, put your attention in this red line. What is written next? That is plus. Put plus, bracket open, and then you need work in process. Come in quantity schedule. Here you can see that this is your work in process and how much it is, 500. So put 500 over here. Then you need to multiply. Here you are going to multiply it. Just write down the sign of multiply, and then percentage completion. Here percentage completion was for the material, and separately we will see how much percentage completion is available for labor. You can see over here 50%. 50% converted, and you know that converted includes two names, labor and FH. Labor and FH are directly associated with conversion cost. So we will use same percentage, 50% for labor and 50% for FH. Come to the point, we were calculating our equivalent schedule and you were in need of percentage completion, and we come to know that 50% converted is the percentage completion. 50% mean you will divide 50 divided by 50 by 100. So what you will get, 50 divided by 100, 0.5. Please perform the same function in the calculator, close the bracket. Here you can take again the screenshot for equivalent of labor. What you have done, 100% completed unit from quantity schedule you have picked 25,000 plus sign bracket open, work in process you have taken from quantity schedule, multiply from the formula, percentage completion 50% was given in the question. This way you have got your answer for equivalent of labor. It's time to calculate equivalent of FH. For this we will go again in the quantity schedule. Very first thing which you do need is 100% completed units. Come over here in quantity schedule. This is your completed units and those are 25,000. Write down here 25,000, and then what you will do, add. Put sign of add over here, open your bracket. Then you need work in process. Come here, work in process is 500. So put 500, and then you are need to put sign of multiply, and then what is happening, percentage completion for equivalent of F means FH percentage completion, and we have seen 50% was given for both. Here you have 50% and you are taking this 50% for conversion. It means same percentage would be used for labor and FH. 50% was used for labor and now we will use 50% for FH as well. 50% means 50 divided by 100, and that means 0.5 would be the amount. You can again take the screenshot for it. 100% completed 25,000 plus 500 was taken from the quantity schedule, multiply sign from the formula, 50% was given in your question, percentage completion for conversion cost, FH is included in conversion cost, and this way you have calculated your equivalent for FH as well. So our first part, right page, lower departments, first part is completed. What we have calculated, number of units completed for material, labor and FH, that means equivalent schedule. It is now easy to calculate your per unit cost. For per unit cost, what do you need? Capital M. Capital M is total cost of material. Here you have mentioned it. Let me give a little time. We have written small f. It's not small f, it is capital F. Okay. Now come to here. Our formula, we are going to calculate per unit cost. And where we are calculating per unit cost of material, for which what we do need. Here you can see that total cost of material is to be written over here. We can open our bracket. Total cost of material is given over here 54810. Put 54810 and you are going to divide it. Here in your formula you can see that divided by equivalent of material, and here you have calculated equivalent of material. How much amount it is? 25375. Alright, so you have completed your formula in statement format, and now write it on your calculators. What you will write? 54810, and it would be divided by 25375. So this way you have calculated per unit cost of material, and now you are going to prepare your per unit cost of labor, for which what you are going to do, you need to have total cost of labor. Here come in left side, there you can see that all three costs are mentioned already. We have written these amounts from the book. Labor cost is 42,925. So put over here 42,925, and then you are going to divide it with what? Equivalent of labor. And here you have calculated equivalent of labor 25250. Put 25250 over here, close your bracket, mathematical statement completed, and now you are going to put these amounts on calculator. 42925 would be divided by 25250. So per unit cost of labor is also calculated. It's time to see how you will calculate your per unit cost of FH. See here, we need capital F, that means total cost of FH. Here in our lower part left page, total cost of FH is given 32320. Start your bracket 32320, and you are going to divide it with what? Equivalent of F. And in upper part you have already calculated equivalent of F. Answer is 25250. Put over here 25250, close your bracket. Mathematical statement is completed. It's now time to put these amounts on your calculator. What you will write? 32320 divided by 25250. So this way you have completed your per unit cost, and you are now supposed to put, as you will complete it, your per unit cost format, you will be immediately putting these costs in your cost charged to the department left side. So first cost is your per unit cost of material, and what you have done, this is your per unit cost. I have highlighted 2.160. Put over here. This is your per unit cost of material. You have written over here. Now you are in need to put per unit cost of labor, and here I have highlighted this is your per unit cost of labor, and you are going to put the same amount in cost charged to the department. Next target is what? You are needed to write per unit cost of FH, and you can see here I have highlighted per unit cost of FH 1.28. Put the same amount at per unit cost of FH on cost to charge to the department. This way we have completed our cost section. And what is happening, this was very important. This is total per unit cost you have calculated. Answer would be given in your question. Let's go over there, and here you can see unit cost 8.14 is calculated, and how much we have calculated, this is also 8.14. That means this section is 100% completed. We have calculated per unit cost. We have also summed up total cost as well. This is your total cost, and this is your per unit cost, and you have already compared this answer as well. Though answer had come, but you can see over here, whole this department is empty. right side, right page, upper part, cost to be accounted for as follows. Whole department is empty. So it's a way of solving this question. You will solve answer first, but still question will be empty. This department, when we will complete, the sole purpose of completion of this department is to match this cost. I have highlighted it. This is total cost. You will have to match this cost with the cost, total cost we have calculated on left side, lower portion, cost charge. So total of cost charge and total of cost to be accounted for will always be equal. So here we are going to solve it. Let's see what is here in first line. You can see we need completed units. Go to the quantity schedule. Here you can see completed units are 25,000. So write over here 25,000. Then you need to multiply it, draw the sign, and small t is what? Here per unit total cost 8.14. Put the same cost 8.14. That's all. So you have completed your mathematical statement for first element, completed units multiplicability. First step, we will complete statements and then we will calculate over here. Alright, so next line, you need to have work in process. Come over here. This is your work in process and it is written 500. Put 500 over here and then you need to multiply it. We have already written multiply, bracket open, small r. This is your small r, per unit cost received from previous department. So put inside the bracket 2.55. We have picked from here. This is your per unit cost 2.55. And now what is next? You need to put sign of plus and then you need to have normal loss adjustment. Here normal loss adjustment and answer you have calculated is 0.45. Put 0.45 over here. So there were three elements: work in process, small r, and normal loss. Work in process, small r, and normal loss. All three elements have been posted. It means mathematical statement for second line is completed. Let's go to the third line. And in third line, what we need? Work in process. Come over here in quantity schedule, that is 500. You are in need to put multiply and then small m, per unit cost of material. These per unit costs are written on both in cost charge to the department and here we have calculated per unit. First per unit cost is small m. You have calculated 2.16. Put same 2.16 over here. Then sign of multiplication and percentage completion. As you know, in question for material, percentage was given and this you can see 75% is completed as to material. So you can write over here 75%. 75% means 75 divided by 100, which would come as 0.75. So statement for third line is completed. You can see over here work in process, small m, and percentage completion. Work in process 500, per unit 2.16, percentage completion 0.75. It means statement for third line is completed. Come to the fourth line and you are now going to calculate for labor as well. The very first thing which you need is work in process. Look at here, 500 are work in process. Write down over here. Then you need to put sign of multiplication. Small l is per unit cost of labor and there you have written this per unit cost in two ways. Look at this labor. All three elements are mentioned over here. Material, labor, FH. First column is used for total and second column is used for per unit cost, which is 1.7. You can put 1.7 over here, but beside this we have also mentioned this per unit cost over here. So put 1.7, then again multiplication sign, and then it was 1.7. Let's delete the comma and write decimal. So 1.7. What is next? Percentage completion for labor. And since percentage completion for labor is given in the question and that was what? Look at this, 50% converted. So for both labor and FOH, percentage completion is same. That is 50%. 50% percent means 50 divided by 100, which means 0.5. So statement for third line is completed. We have completed statement for cost of work in process for the labor. It's time to write down cost of work in process for FH. Very first thing you need is work in process. Come over here. This 500 is work in process right now. And then you are need to multiply with what? Per unit cost of FH. And in right page lower department you have calculated per unit cost of FH. You can see over here per unit cost of FH, and that is 1.28. Put here 1.28. Again what you need is to multiply, put sign of multiplication with what? Percentage completion of FH. So in question you have seen for so many times that that percentage completion of FH is given over here 50% converted cost mean labor and FH. So for FH we will use 50% as well. 50% mean 50 divided by 100, and that means 0.5 would be put over here. So mathematical statements for all elements present over here are calculated. It's now time to put these elements on calculator. First, we will calculate for completed units 25,000, and it would be multiply with 25,000 multiply by 8.14. So first element is calculated for total units. Now next is, please put your attention over here what we are going to write. So 500, we should put bracket first, 500, and then you need to put multiply, again bracket open, 2.55, and then plus 0.45. Please look at this. We have completed it. So got the answer for the second line. It's time to see the answer for the next line. We need to put bracket first. Please focus upon here. We need to write 500 and then multiply, and again 2.16 only, again multiply with 0.75, close your bracket. So this way you have got the answer. It's time to see the work in process cost for labor. What you will write on calculator, please focus upon this line. What we have 500, and it would be multiplied by 1.7. Again it would be multiplied by 0.5. Okay, so we have calculated work in process cost for the labor. It's time to calculate work in process cost for FH. So what it is, 500, and it would be multiplied by 1.28, again multiply by 0.5. So finally you have put all the amounts for cost of work in process for FH. This is your final 320. So in this way you have completed cost to be accounted for as follows. The main purpose of calculation of this cost was what? You were supposed to match this cost with total of cost charge department. Cost charge to the department total is 206,555, and total of cost to be accounted for is also 206,555. So this way our cost is also matched, and our per unit cost answer is also matched with the book. Answer of normal loss is also matched with the book. In this way we have completed this question. Here you can take a screenshot over here where you have calculated everything. This is your complete scenario of the question. I'm requesting you to please repeat it again and again. You have plenty of time today, and tomorrow we will be repeating and revising this question after Monday. So requesting you to please revise it as many times as you can. If you have any query, you can message, you can text, you can comment, or you can directly meet. We have solved right now. Question number we had put over here, question number 7.12. This was 7.12, and hopefully we are meeting again for the solution of any other question. Up till then, please take care, and I'm requesting you to please pray for me as well. Thank you very much for your time. Allah Hafiz.